Aloha and welcome, sports fans, to the second night of the 2015 Hawaii College Basketball Summer League playoffs. I'm Pat Tanibe and I'm joined by my partner, the former HBU head basketball coach Tony Solido, who some people call the most interesting person in local sports basketball. Tonight's first game is a semifinal matchup between the number 2 seed National Fire Protection and the number 3 seed Wealth Strategy Partners, who is here because they won their quarterfinals matchup against Clark Hatch Fitness, 102 to 85. These two teams met twice during the regular season, with National Fire Protection Company winning the first game 112 to 110, and Wealth Strategy Partners winning the second game 92 to 85. National Fire Protection has lost 4 of its last 5 games, while Wealth Strategy has won 3 of its last 5. Well, Coach, who is going to win and advance to the championship game?
Well, I don't know. I have Marco Johnson coaching one team who played for me, and Gilbert Hicks coaching the other team who I played against for 2 years when he was at Hilo. So, it's kind of a toss-up. Whoever wins, I'll be happy for either one.
Well, Coach, I guess we will know who wins after the end of the game. So stay tuned, sports fans, as we will be back in a moment with interviews with tonight's coaches and players.
Gilbert, what do you think of tonight's game, and what do you think you have to do to win it?
Cut down our turnovers, play more team defense. We haven't had a problem scoring because we came back from a 16-point deficit the last game, but it's the team defense that is hurting us.
Well, a lot of people in basketball, I think at every level I have ever been at, talk incessantly about defense. And really, honestly and truly, nobody in the United States or the world can play defense. Every single year, the leading scorers in NBA and college and high school are always the same guys, because even if they're good, you still can't stop them. Kobe Bryant still scores 80 points in one game.
I agree.
LeBron James still scores 40 points in one game.
I agree.
So aside from that, what do you think your guys have to do? Because defense is going to be hard, especially in a summer league.
It is going to be hard, but we have to have the mindset. We just can't let them catch the ball and shoot it and not contest it. We at least have to make the effort to contest. It's like putting up a fence for a wolf. You know he's going to eventually get over it, but you have to make the effort to do it, because if you don't, it's not going to be one 40-point score. It might be 3 40-point scores.
And how do you think your players react to this?
I think they reacted very well to it. Prior to coming over here, we was talking about certain players where we would have to fight over the screen rather than go around it and give him that angle to shoot. Maybe we might even double team him and force other people to score like the old Jordan rules.
And what do you think about your opponent's team and what you have to do to stop them? What type of game do you think they're going to play against you? A running game, throw it inside, or what do you think is going to happen?
They're a pick-and-roll team. Their guards are pick-and-roll three-point shooters. Unless their big man Julian shows up, which plays more of a wingman, they don't play the power inside game. So it's the pick-and-roll outside and the weak side help we're looking for.
Well, Julian Sensley didn't play the last game, but I heard he's going to be there tonight. So I think he'll be he's a pro, and they have a couple pro players on their team. Dusan Brodeks, by the way, was picked the outstanding point guard in Lithuania last year. So he is just tough. He's really a good player.
And he scored 40-something points against us the last game. He's the exact person we were talking about.
I know,
he was the exact
one.
person we were talking about as far as the screen goes. Yes, sir. I agree.
Very, very good player. So
Yes.
I guess you'll have to contend with that. But what particularly do you think you'll have to do to Julian to prevent them from, really being a forceful team against you?
Well, for Julian, I think we could wear him out a little bit. He's not as good a shape as he was a couple years ago, running up and down the court. And, he's going to score his 10 or 15 points, but I don't want him to exert himself the same with Brodus. Now we got two big man out and little man scoring 30, 40 points in a game against us, because that is an unsurmountable amount of points to overcome, not counting his brother and his other players. So we would like to at least get one or the other. What they say, name your poison. So we'd have to do one or the other. We can't let both players have outstanding games, because then it will be over at halftime.
Well, good luck tonight, Gilbert. Nice talking to you, and I hope you come out a winner.
Yes, I love talking to you, Coach. Way to go, Tiger.
Thanks. Marco, you played them once before they beat you. You beat them. You know, they're the same type of team as you are. They're built the same way you are, small and quick. Nothing, you know, unless Julian Sensley shows up.
He's on his way.
What do you have to do to beat them?
We have to limit their points in the paint. We have to close out on some of those three-pointers and limit their baskets in transition.
And what about your team? What are you expecting? I know Rashawn had a great game. The Brodus brothers had a great game the last game. What do you think you have to do as far as their performances, you know, to give you a little bit edge against these guys? Because they're not a bad basketball team.
Yeah, I think we have to be a little bit more hungry on defense, and I think we have to have those two guys attack the basket.
I know. I always love to hear that, because everybody says that about defense, and you know, it's without a doubt. People watching this broadcast or watching basketball have to understand playing defense is a 6-day-a-week practice, 2 hours a day. You know, try and stay under 20 hours for the week, and half of that time you have to do that to learn how to play defense, which you guys do not get because you only play a couple times a week.
Yeah.
How are you going to overcome that with your defense?
We're going to try to drop a couple schemes here and there on some of their great scorers that they have, like DeAndre. We're going to try to switch different guys on him, run a couple guys at him at a time. Hopefully that'll disrupt his scoring flow.
And what do you think about their three-point shooting? The strong part of their game has been their three-point shooting. They shoot the ball. DeAndre Haskins shoots the ball well. The young guard from the Army shoots the ball well. What do you think you're going to have to do? Extend your defense, or what are you going to have to do to try and stop them?
Just got to get a hand up and close out on some of those shots, but definitely we can't allow them to get second chance and offensive rebounds. So if we can limit them on some of those three-pointers and rebound the basketball after they shoot one shot, then we should be fine.
Now, the last game, you simply outran your opponent. You just literally outran them. And you slowed down a little bit, and they caught up, and then you turned on the gas again, and they were done. And do you think you'll have to play that kind of tempo again tonight?
I think we will, because in the playoffs, the intensity increases a little bit, and our guys are really hungry after our disappointing showing last year. So they're very, very, very hungry to get back to the championship game.
Well, good luck, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Nice to see you, and congratulations on you getting into the semis this year.
Thanks.
All right. I see here they passed me a note. You're the free throw shooting champion for the league. You shot 95%. I've been coaching for 50 years. I haven't ever coached a guy that shot 95%. So congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
wish I had a guy that could shoot 85%. And you shot 40. You led the league in 49 three-pointers. And I guess my question is that because you took more three-pointers than anybody else? And do you like to shoot three-pointers?
Well, three-point shooting is one of the special things I've been able to do pretty much my whole life almost. Even when I was little, I've been able to shoot three-pointers. So shooting is one of my specialties. It's something that I like to capitalize on. And just other parts of my game, you know, I want to improve.
Now, when you were in high school, were you a three-point shooter? And where did you go to high school? And
I actually didn't get to play in high school. I had two little brothers that I had to, you know,
take care of
and watch over while my mom was at work and stuff. But I did play in a few leagues, you know, in the neighborhood. But yeah, I was a three-point shooter pretty much my whole career.
Now, how many years you been in the Army?
I was in the Army 4 years.
This is your going on to the fourth year?
Well, I got out in December. I entered in 2011, and I got out in December of last year.
Oh, and what are you doing now?
Right now, I'm just working on going to school, enrolling in school.
Well, congratulations, and I'm telling you something. You know, as a former coach, 95% free throw shooting, is totally outstanding.
Thank you. Hard work pays off.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you and your brother had an outstanding game last game. What do you think you have to do against National Fire?
Ultimately, it just comes down to defense. Last game, I believe we pretty much had the best defense game this whole entire season. Pretty much just come down to communication on the help side D, because you know you got DeAndre and also Chris Summers on the wings. DeAndre's a great penetrator, create for himself and other guys. Chris Summers, he's pretty much phenomenal from the three-point line. So we just got to make sure we can close out and just play good help side defense. So.
As far as you two guys are concerned, you tore them up last time, shooting the three, fast breaks. You literally outran the other team last Tuesday. What do you think you have to do tonight to beat this National Fire team?
Everything better. Whatever we did last time, we have to do it even better this game. So we can't be content, just come out. Pretty much just main thing, our main focus is the defense. The offense will take care of itself. We have to move the ball around as a team. If we get good ball movement, we'll get a lot of open looks. So other than that, yeah.
And how do you feel about your defense in particular? You know, it's really hard. I was telling Chris before you, it's really hard to get really efficient on defense because you guys only play a couple games a week and you don't practice. So how do you think you guys are going to be able to overcome that?
Pretty much just we're gonna have to dig deep. It's gonna come down to who wants it more. I mean, I just got for work and I'm coming straight here. So I mean, a lot of these guys, they're playing ball all the time. So it's got to come out here and just take pride in putting a little bit hard into it. So.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. You really have to upgrade everybody's defense to be a championship team, and hopefully you guys will be able to do that tonight. And what do you think your chances are?
It's looking good. It's looking good.
Well, congratulations.
All right, thank you.
For reaching the semis, and good luck tonight.
All right.
Performed tonight by Kalake Kamario.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets reglared, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
shot 95%
Session 1 is now over. Meeting will begin. All teachers and parents, please report to the cafeteria by 6:25. Session 1 is now over. Meeting will begin. All teachers and parents, please report to the cafeteria by 6:25.
Starting for number 2, National Fire Rehab, Hamu Pule Hall, Chris Summerlin, DeAndre Haskins, Muhammad Choi, and Kyle Peterson, coached by Cooper Dix. Jeffrey Cole, Welcome Valley, Shooter, National Fire. Standing for Robert Cassidy, Deshaun Brother, Louisiana, Bula, Eric Clement,
DeAndre Jordan with 2.
and Julian Sanchez.
DeAndre Haskins scores the first basket, one of many because he'll shoot the ball to score a lot of points. But the guy always seems to get open. He works very hard during the game, and he scores the opening basket. Unreal.
Taitsu driving to the bucket. Ball kicks out of bounds. Red ball. Rashawn hits a 3.
Rashawn Broadus is picking up where he left off last game. Every time that Rashawn shoots the ball, he's very, very dangerous basketball player.
Rebound, DeAndre. Oh, Rashawn loses his dribble. Picked up by Deshaun. Smalley. Summers with the ball. Rashawn on top of the key. That's good for 2. Rashawn Broadus.
Rashawn Broadus has now not missed a shot he's taken already. He's 2 for 2 from the floor.
Peterson got blocked. Steitzel directing traffic. Ball into JR. Sensley looking to pass. He does.
Rashawn's first miss of the night. And Haskins scores again. You know, it looks like it's going to be a game between Rashawn Broadus and Haskins. They have 4 of the baskets that are made already.
You're probably right, Coach.
I think the game is going to depend on how well Wealth Strategy can stop. National Fire can stop Julian Sensley. Julian Sensley is an outstanding player. Played pro ball the past 5 or 6 years. Played at the University of Hawaii. Was an excellent basketball player in the OIA. And I think it's going to depend a lot on how well they can contain him. He's a good passer, good shooter, and he's an all-around good player. Last year he was the MVP of this championship tournament, so I'm sure they're concerned about him.
That's right, Coach. I think you're right on that. Sensley's trying to play inside and out now, so they need him inside. Rashawn with the ball on top of the key. Steitzel. Oh, Steitzel got his ball stolen by DeAndre. Leaping dunk by DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre has all 6 of their points.
Bully. There's another one for Haskins.
Haskins has now scored all their points.
Sensley with the ball, top of the key. Passes off to JR. JR scores. That's one of the Brodus brothers. They're both excellent players. Summers, top of the key. Peterson with 2 points on a drive to the basket. There goes Sensei. Sensley gives a soft dunk there for 2. Oh, he got his own. That was hustle. Hustle by DeAndre, getting his rebound and putting 2 in. Peterson with a 3, misses. Red ball. Well, strategy. Inbound. Rashawn with the ball, drives to the bucket, puts a layup and misses. Hits a 2.
Puleo plays for Chaminade, and he's an excellent guard with excellent quickness. He played here for Mauna Loa High School, and he's just a very good player who should see a lot of action this year for Chaminade.
Summers with a Steitzel. Misses a 2. DeAndre bringing the ball over the midcourt, passes off to Puleo, Chaminade. DeAndre misses an easy shot inside. Sensley with the long 3, and he hits it.
He's an amazing, that young man is an amazing player when he plays. If he turns on the Jets, he is an amazing player.
Exactly, Coach, because if he wants to play...
If he wants to play, it's all over him.
Hard to stop him.
He gets a little lackadaisical once in a while.
Yes, he does.
Very good player.
JR with a 3. He hits a 3.
What you have here are 2 quick offensive teams, and although defense was talked about by both of their coaches, maybe it'll show itself in the second half, but it's certainly not showed itself so far.
Foul on Puleo. Steitzel for a throw-in. Rashawn brings the ball over the midcourt.
No matter who guards Julian, they don't have the size to stay with him. So if he goes into the low post, he's going to be literally unstoppable. But throughout his career, he has always thought of himself as a three-point shooter.
Harrison with the rebound and got the ball kicked out of bounds for blue ball.
Harrison played on the Colorado State Championship team and was picked as the most valuable player of the state tournament, I think.
He did an excellent job in that playoff. Bad pass by DeAndre and kicks out of bounds.
Well, every time there's a passing mistake, I have always thought it was the passer's fault. You can't guess where somebody's going to go. You got to see him go there.
Yes, sir, Coach. Ball off McCraven. Blue ball. Alejandro Pardee puts a shot jumper in.
Pardee took Stitzel into the low post and just shot right over him.
Steitzel misses a long three. Rebound went to Sensley here. He's dribbling the ball on top of the key, looking to penetrate, which he does. And he scores.
And he got killed.
Yes, he did, Coach. He did. Should be and one.
He shot through that contact. Typical pro.
Pardee with the ball.
Pardee matchup with Stitzel is hard. Pardee, I've always thought, had an excellent summer this summer. And Kid is really a smart player.
Summers with the ball, looking to pass, but he dribbles in for a lay-in. Oh, he missed. Ball stays with Blue. Blue out of bounds, throw in. JR with the rebound. Steitzel back to JR. JR inside. Nice pass. McCraven misses a short lane. Oh, a missed shot and a putback by Pardee.
18 apiece. 9:36. First half.
Rashawn looking to drive. He does drive and scores two.
Pat, what I think you see is the people, the players who everyone thinks are outstanding players are playing an outstanding game. You know, the supporting cast has not popped up yet, but Julian and the two Broadus brothers and Haskins and the young man from the Army, they all seem to be playing extremely well right now and have scored most of the points out on
Yes, they have, Coach. And I think this game will go down to the wire at the rate they're playing.
And Chris Summers has played a much better floor game than I've seen him play before, because he's not shooting the ball from the three-point line all the time. He's looking, and he's got a couple assists, so he's playing not a bad game with his eyes.
Yeah, he is. Alejandro Padilla almost lost the dribble coming over the midcourt. Summers with the ball, looking to pass or penetrate. He's still dribbling, and it takes a shot, misses the shot. Rebound by Rashawn Brodus. Blocked by Harrison. Nice defensive move by Harrison.
See, Poulet is, I think, the quickest guy out on the court. He's really a quick kid. Plays good defense, boy. I'll tell you, he's a tough one.
Oh, there goes Sensley, Coach. A long three.
Sensley's a 6'8", 2 guard. He's unbelievable. I always liked his game. Oh!
Steitzel looking to shoot, but we will need to pass it out. Oh, he does. He puts it out to Semsley, sends it over to McCraven. Back to Sensley. A three. Oh, nice rebound by McCraven. Oh, Rashawn. He gave himself a three. He put two hands up with a three. He knew that ball was going in. Pardee over the midcourt.
Well strategy partner with the lead, 7-40.
Haskins going to get his 20 shots a game. He's tough. You're not going to stop him from shooting the ball.
Well, this is a real mid-game adjustment, isn't it, Tony? Good to see you again.
Nice
This is
to
Gary
see you,
Dickman. I
Gary.
have been substituted into the game right now.
We just had a announcing substitute. Gary Dickman is taking over for Pat Tanibi.
And we've got 7 minutes, 26 seconds left in the first half. 26-18 lead. Party with the ball for National Fire as they get it into the lane for DeAndre Haskins, Chaminade star. Misses the layup. Rashawn Brodus comes down, and just like the other night, converts the layup, making it 28-18, 10-point lead for Walt Strategy. All out of Mauna Loa High School in Chaminade with the ball, gives it up to Party. Gives it over to Haskins in the left corner. Looks for something baseline, nothing there. Takes the jumper, it is off. Rebound for McCraven of Walt Strategy. Gives it over to Vienna. Goes into lane, back out to William Brodus for the three, and that is good for Walt Strategy. They are now up by 13, 31-18. Haskins with the ball now for National Fire, down by 13, the number 2 seed in this tournament. And we will have a timeout on the court. 6:26 left in the first half, 31-18 lead for Walt Strategy. And we've got Julian Sensley back in action tonight. He has 12 leading Walt Strategy. Rashawn Brodus with 11. DeAndre Haskins leads National Fire with 10 points. Tony, you can kind of fill me in as far as what I've missed in the first half tonight.
Well, as I said before, you missed the Don Haskins shooting show for National Protects Fire. And Julian Sensley shooting for Wealth Strategy Partners. They're both outstanding players. Haskins is a very good offensive player, and Julian Sensley's a better offensive player. So I think it'll come down to which one of those two guys can lead their team tonight, because they're both very good.
And I was just getting here a few minutes ago. I'm a little surprised at the score. We saw Walt Strategy the other night. They looked fantastic with that 18-point win. Now they got Julian Sensley back, so maybe I shouldn't be as surprised. But National Fire is the #2 seed in this tournament. Now they don't have Mike Thomas, UH player, just as well as all the other current UH players are not in the playoffs. But they are down by 13 again. This is the second-place team, second seed in this tournament, now trailing.
Well, my opinion is Wealth Strategy has the best set of guards in the Summer League. The two Broadest brothers. They've played outstanding all summer, and they're playing outstanding again tonight. They're good. When you have good guards in a league like this, and in college, guards really give your team the edge, Gary.
As we see Walt Strategy with the ball, Keola Stitzel with the ball, over to Julian Sensley. Back of the three-point line. Looks for an open player, can't find him, picks up the loose ball near midcourt. Over to Stitzel, over to Vienna, thinks about a three, but drives into the lane. Left-handed layup is good for Drew Vienna. Nice basket by him, and now the 15-point lead for Walt Strategy partner. Dean Vienna on that layup.
Dean goes to the basket all the time. He does that really, really well.
DeAndre Haskins with the ball covered by Vienna. Nothing there. Double team is there with Brodas. Loose ball now out of bounds, and National Fire will retain possession. National Fire with the ball. Number 44 with the ball. We'll get his name in just a second. And that is Kanoa Peterson. And he misses the layup. The ball is retained by National Fire. Peterson cuts in. He will be fouled on the left hand. Tried to get the shot off with the right. It is off, but he will go to the line for two. Kanoa Peterson, number 44. 5:22 left in the first half. 33-18. Walt Strategy with a 15-point lead. Second semifinal coming up at 7:30 tonight. Should be a great game. We're #1 Electricians Hawaii, undefeated in fact, as well as being #1. They will go up against Chosen Few, who won their quarterfinal game on Tuesday against Grants Cove Pacific. First free throw is no good by Peterson. Gilbert Hicks coaching National Fire Protection again. Second free throw is also off. Sensley with the rebound for Welt Strategy. He brings it across court, covered by Peterson. Drives into the lane, and he will be fouled. Julian Sensley going in for the layup. A little stutter step, about 10 feet away. Got a little space, went up for the layup. He is fouled, and Julian Sensley going to the free throw line for two. Julian Sensley, 12 points, 4 rebounds already in the first half. And with Sensley, Tony, from what we saw the other night, they already had a great game, pretty much all guard play. Now you get a big like him, even more dangerous for Walt Strategy.
Yeah, well, the good thing about Julian is that he's about 6'7", 6'8", but thinks of himself as a guard.
Yes, he does.
He plays as a guard, and he shoots as a guard. Yeah, once you get him in the low post, mismatched with somebody who's guarding him because he's a guard that's available, he'll beat him every single time. I said this a number of times last year. He was the MVP in this tournament.
Yeah, he's always one of the best players we've seen year in, year out. Makes the second free throw, 34-18, 16-point lead. As Party comes down, all comes down, misses a shot, offensive rebound controlled by National Fire. Mohamed Torrey with the rebound. He goes in the lane, contact, he wants a foul, nothing called. McCraven with the ball over to William Brodas, over to Dean Vienna. He drives in, left-handed layup is good, and they will call a foul as well. Dean Vienna cutting to the basket on the left side, makes the basket, and will go to the free throw line for one. 36-18, an 18-point lead right now. 4:51 left in the first half.
Well, I don't know if this lead is going to hold on, but Marco Johnson was adamant about getting into the finals this year because he thought he should have done it last year, and he really thinks he's got the players that are able to do that, which so far they've proven true.
And I remember the first game you and I did, the first year I got to do the game, they won the championship 2 years ago with Julian Sensley on that team. National Fire with the ball, get a three-pointer from the corner. It is off. That is by Harrison out of Kalaheo, state champion high school team. He gives it back to All, thinks about a 3-0 there, pulls up from 18. Shot hits the back of the rim and is out. Stitzel with the defensive rebound. He looks to run for Walt Strategy. Ald will foul him right by midcourt. Ka'anu Pule Ald out of Moanalua High School and now with Chaminade. Really good high school player. I was impressed with him those years.
He's a good high school player. He's good for Chaminade. He comes off the bench. You know, he gives him a real solid sub, and he has terrific quickness. Not a great shooter, but a great penetrator.
Smart player. And he is covering Keola Stitzel right now. Gives it over to Dean Vienna, left wing. Vienna drives baseline, and over Kupa'a Harrison gets the shot off, but it is no good. Ald with the rebound, looks to run for National Fire. And now we get a shot by Chris Summers for National Fire, trying to walk on at UH. Been very impressive this summer league, Chris Summers.
Chris Summers, Gary, has shot 95% from the free throw line this summer.
Leads the league and really good player. As the ball goes out of bounds with 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the first half. 19-point lead, 37-18, Walt Strategy. This is first semifinal of 2 tonight. Championship on Saturday. Ald with the ball, covered by Stitzel. Gets it down low to Haskins, covered by Vienna. Haskins takes the dribble, pulls up for the jump shot. It is off. Harrison knocks the rebound loose to William Brodus, who gives it to a cutting Keola Stitzel. He'll go in for the left-handed layup. Little reverse layup is good by Keola Stitzel. 21-point lead. Still 3:24 left in the first half for Walt Strategy. Summers with the ball. Tried to give it down to Haskins, but Vienna is there fronting him and gets the steal. Over to McCraven cutting in. Kiri McCraven also out of Moanalua High School. That ball will go out of bounds. No foul, out of bounds, and Walt Strategy will inbound. 3:12 left in the first half, up by 21.
I didn't think they'd be able to get a 21-point lead against these guys. And what happens is, you know, you expend so much energy to catch up that sometimes that leaves you a little bit short at the end of the game. So let's see what happens in the second half.
Right, good point. Teams will have runs and get back in it, but sometimes they'll get close, and that'll be it. We'll see what happens. But there is a lot of time still in the first half. 21-0 run we see, in fact, right now. Is tied at 18. And, yeah, National Fire has yet to score since I have been here. Rashawn Brodus with a nice jump shot. And he makes it a 23-0 run and 41-18 lead for Rashawn Brodus. It is 13 points. Ald with the ball, runs into one of his teammates, gets it down low to Haskins. He'll go up, and they will call a foul on Rashawn Brodus. Try to prevent the layup. Good foul by Brodus. And DeAndre Haskins will go to the free throw line for 2. Great player at Chaminade, was part of the team that defeated Texas in the then EA Sports Maui Invitational a few years ago.
I thought he might have a future in Europe. It hasn't happened so far, but you know, like I say, offensively, he was always a good player. He was a very good offensive player at Chaminade also.
Makes the first free throw. That actually is surprising, Tony, because I would have thought he'd be playing professionally somewhere too.
Yeah.
First free throw is good, and it's the first point for National Fire since I have been here. 41-19, 2:43 left in a half. Second free throw is good by Haskins. Trying to get back in the game, make it a little more respectable before halftime. Give them a little motivation, a little confidence if they can. Cutting it maybe down to 14 or 15 would be nice for National Fire. Sensley with the ball. He's covered by Torre. Gives it down low to Brodus, and of course, Brodus again making a nice shot from 4 feet out. Haskins with the ball. He'll drive to the lane. Nothing there. Gives it way back outside to Summers. And Summers will pass it over to Peterson. No good. Ball is knocked out. And Stitzel comes up with a loose ball for Welt Strategy. Double teamed at midcourt trying to find somebody. And it looks like they're going to call a timeout. It might have been a shot clock violation about to happen. So smart move by Marco Johnson calling timeout with 22 left on the shot clock.
Well, they had him trapped on the sidelines, and that's an excellent call from the bench. Very smart call.
And you're up by 23. You've got the momentum. You got everything going for you. So don't take any chances with a turnover. 2:09 left in the first half, and a commanding lead for Welt Strategy as they look to get back to the championship game where they were 2 seasons ago, where they won it all. And hopefully National Fire can get back in it. Gilbert Hicks, looking at the referee, is wondering about some non-call, I believe, and looking for an explanation. as we will get ready to inbound the ball in just a minute. Again, the second semifinal coming up at 7:30 here at Manoa Rec and on Olelo TV. The Electricians Hawaii, coached by Artie Wilson, #1 seed and undefeated. They will go up against Chosen Few, who won their first game the other night. And that should be a fun game to watch in Game 2 coming up in about an hour.
And Wealth Strategy just ran off 23-2 lead in 8 minutes of basketball, which is
It's amazing.
which is amazing.
And it's kind of like the other night, though. On Tuesday night, they were actually trailing Clark Hatch Fitness by 2 with about 9 minutes left. And they went on a run. I don't know what the run was, but they went up by 16 pretty quickly. William Brodus with the ball. Covered by Chris Summers. Gets it down low to Sensley for Wealth Strategy. Double team comes a little late. Sensley pulls the ball back out, still dribbling it. 6 on the shot clock. William Brodus driving baseline. Throws up a crazy shot, and he gets fouled. Just a couple of seconds left in the shot clock. Smart move by William Brodus to draw contact and go to the free throw line for 2 free throws. William Brodus coming up for Wealth Strategy, up by 23. 1:49 left in the half.
Well, once again, even though Julian Sensley's out there at 6'7", 6'8", it's 10 guards, and that's why the tempo is so high. I'm just surprised at the score. I didn't think they'd be able to run off to a 23-point lead so far.
And DeAndre Haskins pulling his load with 12 points, but Chris Summers, who we've seen do great things in the summer league, you mentioned his free throw shooting, he has yet to score tonight for National Fire. That's one of the reasons they are down. So DeAndre Haskins is basically doing it on his own. He's got 12. We've got Party with 4 and a couple other players with 2, and that is it for the 20 points for National Fire. Brodus missing the first free throw.
Well, DeAndre Haskins is a volume shooter. He has 12 points, which is, I think, 4 of those points are free throws, and the other are 4 field goals. He's a volume shooter. He must have taken already 15, 16 shots.
Right. And he feels like he has to. Ald with the ball for National Fire. Peterson drives baseline, nothing there, pulls it back out. Back up to Ald, back to the 3-point line. 16 on the shot clock. He'll find Summers with the ball. Looking for the screen. Screen is there by Peterson. Nothing there. Ald will get the ball. Thinks about a 3, almost loses the ball, pulls it back out, covered by Stitzel. 4 in the shot clock for National Fire. Ald pulls up for a 16-foot baseline jumper. Nothing but net for Ta'anu Kule. Ald, good shot. Down by 22, though, 44-22. 4 points now for Ald. Sensley with the ball, drives baseline after a little spin move. And they're going to call a foul on Mohamed Toure. It's like it was a little bit of ball, but I think he got him on the arm a little bit as well.
Oh, I think it was a foul. Definitely a foul. It just shows you how hard he is to guard. He's good with the ball, and he possesses an excellent 3-point shot. So when he goes inside, it's hard to guard him there.
Sensley averaging 25.2 points. And you make a really good point about Sensley. I've said there's so many good players in this league. I know you agree. And I think Rashawn Brodus might be the best of the players that are remaining. And I'd say he's kind of unstoppable. Julian Sensley's like that, too. There's really no way to defend him and really stop his game because he can create and score from anywhere on the court.
Well, since high school, he went to Kalaheo. Since high school, and then he went to UH. Julian Sensley could be as good as he wants. It's just a matter of how hard he wants to work.
Had a shot at the NBA, didn't make it, but he's played overseas and in the governmental league for a while.
He could play.
Converts and gets a tipping off a missed shot to make it a 22-point lead. That basket by DeAndre Haskins now with 14. Rashawn Brodus with the ball, covered by Summers. Drives in the lane, loses the ball off of a leg of a National Fire player, and now we will have an uncontested layup for DeAndre Haskins off of the steal. 46-26 now. And looks like Wealth Strategy will play for the last shot. Or will they? 30 seconds left in the half. And Julian Sensley thinks that is the best way to do it. Wait for one shot, as it looks like they were about to go on a little bit of a break there, but Julian Sensley says, let's just take it easy, play for one. We got a commanding lead. 14 seconds left. Shot clock and game clock are virtually the same. Rashawn Brodus with the ball, covered by Summers. Nice crossover dribbles there. They're going to call the foul on DeAndre Haskins, excuse me. And a little bit of contact, but a good call by referee Thomas Rashida. And we'll get a 1-and-1 at the free throw line for Rashawn Brodus. .7 seconds left in the first half. 20-point lead. Brodus has played professionally for the last 7 years, Lithuania most recently, as he told us the other night. Misses the free throw. Haskins with the rebound. He's going to have to hurry. He's not really looking at the clock. Now he does. Fires up a shot from midcourt, and it is short. So we will go into the half with a 46-26 lead for Walt Strategy Partners in the first semifinal. The winner of this game will play for the championship on Saturday night at 7. We'll be at Maryknoll School on Saturday night for that game. The leading scorers right now, as we are at halftime, Rashawn Brodus and Julian Sensley, both with 15 points. William Brodus with 9. No surprise there. And for National Fire, only one player in double figures, DeAndre Haskins, now at 16 points. If you're Gilbert Hicks, Tony, for National Fire Protection, their coach, what do you tell them in these 5 minutes getting ready for the second half?
Well, you know, they're down by 20. And in a back and forth kind of league like we have here where, you know, they might get hot and catch up and make a game of it in the second half. You know, they have to be a little bit patient. I think their shot selection was a little bit off. And on the other hand, though, I thought Welt Strategy simply outran them. They really moved the ball up the court well. And of course, when you have Rashad Brodus and Julian Sensley, you're looking at two of the best players in this league. Easily two of them in the All-Star team. And the reason that Rashawn Brodus was picked as the most outstanding point guard in Lithuania last year is because he probably was the most outstanding player in Lithuania, right, because he's a very good basketball player. When you throw in Julian Sensley next to him and his brother on the other side, you know, you got the three guys that can really play the game well. So it doesn't surprise me that they're leading, but it does surprise me that they're leading by 20.
You've been on the other end, I think, more than the end with National Fire. You've been up by 20, I'm sure, many times at the half. You don't want your teams getting complacent. You want to take them out of their rhythm. What do you tell your team when you're up by 20 at this point where everything seems to be clicking?
Well, I think everybody who has seen me coach a basketball game has said to me since I can remember, you never substitute. Even when you're up by 30, you never substitute. And there's a reason for that. You know, I believe that any coach who's coaching basketball should never go into the locker room at the end of the game and say, we could have won this game. But he substituted with 10 minutes to go. He substituted, you know, and said, we got this game wrapped up. And you don't have the game wrapped up simply because of the three-point line. Three-point line can bring anybody back.
Sure.
So I like to substitute when I'm winning by 20 with about a minute to go when I know that I'm going to win the game.
Better safe than sorry. The idea is to win the game.
That's the game.
At all costs. Not to make everybody happy with their minutes. Not on this level, I agree. Well, we are at halftime. It is 46-26. Walt Strategy with that 20-point lead. We'll see what adjustments are made by both coaches. We'll be back for the second half in just a minute right here. Gary Dickman and Tony Toledo for Lello TV. This is semifinal number 1 in the NCAA Summer League. We are back getting ready for the second half of the first semifinal in the NCAA Summer League at Manoa Rec. Gary Dickman here with Tony Toledo, and I got here midway through the first half, and it was kind of a close game, but that didn't last long. As soon as I got here, Walt Strategy went on a 23-0 run, and I think a 28-2 run to end the half, and they have that 20-point lead. Tony, we're getting ready for the second half. We talked about adjustments a few minutes ago. Do you think Walt Strategy Partners will maybe try to use the shot clock right away, or maybe stay in their normal offense early on?
Gary, I think they're going to stay in their regular offense. I think it's very difficult for teams in the Summer League to play the clock. I don't think that enters into it at all.
We saw on Tuesday night where the shot clock was out of order for a while. I don't think it mattered.
I don't think so either.
I thought they just called it a night for the clock because nobody was using it. As we are starting the second half, Rashawn Brodus inbound to Keola Stitzel, covered by Ald. Walt Strategy with the ball, moving to our left. William Brodus with the ball, finding Sensley down low, baseline, covered by DeAndre Haskins. Nothing there. Haskins pretty strong to match up, but Sensley gets the shot off, but he didn't have full control as we went up. And they will call a foul on Julian Sensley. I didn't really see that on the loose ball off the missed shot. They called Sensley for the foul. And we'll check to see if anybody's in foul trouble. For Julian Sensley, that is just his second. National Fire with the ball. Chris Summers. Really been impressive here in the Summer League with the ball. Gives it over to Kainoa Peterson, covered by Kiri McCraven. Loses the ball. Back over to Summers. He'll try a three. And that is good. Chris Summers' first points of the night. We talked about that. He was scoreless. Now he's got that one basket.
Well, he's going to try out for UH this year, I heard. So he was an all-star. He's an all-star in the summer league. He shot 95% from the free throw line. So, maybe he's got a shot. He's a very decent outside shooter.
Yes, but I believe he came from the military to come to Hawaii, but he has been impressive, as you said. Brodus with the basket for World Strategies. They come back, and now we see another basket by Chris Summers as National Fire makes their first 2 shots of the half. William Brodus with the ball. Covered by Torre. Nothing there. Gives it back out to Stitzel. Brodus posting now low, gets the ball back, looking for an opening, little separation, and muscles in for the shot. William Brodus with a nice basket down low. 50-31, Walt Strategy. Pueli Ald with the ball, gives it over to DeAndre Haskins, drives baseline, and DeAndre Haskins converts. Nice basket as DeAndre Haskins, the leading scorer for National Fire, now with 18 points, the only player in double figures. Sensley comes right back with a reverse layup, and Walt Strategy not using that shot clock. They're looking to continue to run. 52-33 as Summers tries a long 3, and we were talking about Summers at the half. He is now 3 for 3 early on in this half, 2 3-pointers.
Summers did not play high school basketball. He
Wow.
went straight into the Army.
8 early points in the second half for Chris Summers after being scoreless in the first. Rashawn Brodus gets the ball over to McCraven for a 3. That is long. All tips the ball over to Summers, who tries to pass to DeAndre Haskins, but William Brodus is there to knock it out of bounds. 17:52 left in the second half, 16-point lead. Peterson gets the layup, and it is good as National Fire caught Walt Strategy sleeping on that inbound pass. Nobody covering Peterson down low. He got the easy basket. Stitzel with the ball for Walt Strategy, covered by Ald. Pass midcourt now. Both teams playing man-to-man defense. Stitzel with a little crossover, drives in the lane, gets contact, a late whistle, but it is the right call as it is our Mohamed Torre fouling Stitzel in the lane. 2 shots for Keola Stitzel.
Definitely the right call. He was fouled.
Better late than never on the whistles. I'm not sure if the other teams feel that way. Stitzel at the line for 2. First free throw hits the rim and is off for Keola Stitzel. Did you notice that when you were coaching, Tony, a lot of late whistle? Did you kind of get on refs at all for that?
No, I didn't notice the late. They never called them late. They called them, and you have to play according to the officiator.
Sure.
Sometimes they call it tight, sometimes they don't.
Still Stitzel at the line for a second. That is good. 53-38. Well, National Fire has cut 5 points off of this lead from 20 to 15 in just 2 minutes. Summers with the ball. Gives it to the corner for Peterson. He'll try a 3. Kainoa Peterson with the basket. Nice shot by Kainoa Peterson, cutting it to a 12-point lead.
That 3-point shot can just bring you back. You're only down by 12 instead of 20.
Well, this Peterson at New Hope College, where he last played. McCraven with the offensive rebound off of a miss, and McCraven is fouled. Kiri McCraven foul. He will go to the line for 2. And that is 3 fouls on Mohamed Torre. Now, number 35 has 3 fouls for National Fire. 6 fouls allowed before you are out of the game here in the NCAA Summer League. McCraven's first free throw is good. 54-41. You got to give National Fire credit. They kind of really just got back in the game within 3 minutes.
Now, can you hear your coach when you're in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade saying, make your free throws. They're very important.
I totally agree. I complain about that all the time. There's no excuse for high school or college players to hit less than 60-70%, and especially pros. And we've got Peterson with another 3 for National Fire. Kainoa Peterson with 2 back-to-back threes. They are down by 11, almost cut this deficit in half. We've got Sensley with a little left-handed shot. Nice shot by Julian Sensley. 57-44, 16:36 left. Ald with the ball over to Summers. Covered tightly by William Brodus. Brings it back out. Looking for somebody cutting, nobody there, so Summers takes it himself, but McCraven is there to defend him, and Summers throws up a wild shot. Good D by Kyrie McCraven to stop that. Sean Brodus brings the ball out, gives it to his brother William. He'll try a 3. Hits the front of the rim and is off. Peterson with the rebound. Excuse me, Harrison out of Kalaheo with the rebound. Number 22 checking in the game for National Fire. Chris Summers with the ball over to DeAndre Haskins. He'll try a three, and DeAndre Haskins converts. And we have got a lead that was at 20, now down to 10, 57-47. We got a ball game here. Stitzel with the ball, covered by Ald. And Marco Johnson has seen enough early on with only 4 minutes and 5 seconds left. National Fire has cut a 20-point deficit down to 10.
Well, that's what happened years back when they put in the three-point line. When they put in the three-point line, what they said to you in basketball is that you can get a lead, but you better keep playing, because if you don't, that three-point shot will cut that lead down immediately. So when you're playing a team that has good three-point shooters that get hot, you really have to worry, because you can lose. You asked me earlier about substitution. Boy, I'll tell you, you got to really be careful, because a lead can disappear in a short period of time, like this one, cut in half.
So
And
I've always said the same
there's
thing,
only 4 minutes.
when teams go up by 20, how come they don't go up by 40? You would think if they're that good to take that 20-point lead, and whatever minutes it takes, why can't they double that if they're that much better? Well, you kind of talked about some of the reasons some teams get a little complacent and maybe subconsciously are out of their rhythm, out of their normal offense.
Well, I don't, in response to that, I don't think they get complacent. What happens is you get a 20-point lead and you say to yourself, these guys we'll score anytime we want. And then all of a sudden you can't score whenever you want, and then
Right.
the lead is gone.
But now, I mean, 20-point game, we know there was a lot of time left. Right now with a 10-point lead, National Fire back in it. Well, strategy, though, try to build that lead back up. William Brodus with the ball. We inbound play. Covered by Kapa'a Harrison. Over to Rashawn at the other side. He'll try a three. That is short. Haskins with the rebound over to Ald. He's looking for a layup. Stitzel there to block him. Good defense, but Kapa'a Harrison with the offensive rebound. That is no good. Summers now with the three. That's an air ball. And Keola Stitzel picks up the loose ball. Covered by Kapa'a Harrison. Out of Kalaheu. Stitzel looking for an open player, finds Julian Sensley. Covered by DeAndre Haskins. 15 on the shot clock. Sensley drives in. Pulls back a little bit. The shot is no good. Peterson with the rebound over to Ald. It's a cutting DeAndre Haskins with only one defender back, and Brodus couldn't get an angle to stop that, and DeAndre Haskins converts. 8-point lead for Walt Strategy. Rashawn Brodus with the ball, covered by Chris Summers. Left corner. Little fake, drives into the lane for a left-handed layup, a little off. McCraven with a putback, that is off. McCraven will be fouled, and Kiri McCraven will go to the free throw line for two. And that foul on Kapa'a Harrison. 14:49 left in the second half. 57-49, 8-point lead for Walt Strategy. McCraven getting ready for the first free throw. It is good. McCraven averaging 7.4 points.
3 in a row he's made.
I would assume his high school coach definitely keyed on those. McCraven getting ready for free throw number 2 out of Moanaloa High School. And it is good. 4 in a row for McCraven. Let me see how those free throws do make a difference. We talked about that the other night. 10-point lead for Walt Strategy. Kapa'a Harrison with the ball, covered by McCraven. Gives it over to Haskins. He'll try a shot. No good, but he is fouled. And we'll see who that foul is called up. But DeAndre Haskins going to the line, and that foul will be called on number 22, Dean Vienna, for Walt Strategy. Haskins right now, 23 points, 8 rebounds. Probably on par for a double-double. First free throw is good for DeAndre Haskins. 59-50, Walt Strategy. Second free throw,
no good.
Little long. Brodus controls the rebound. William for Walt Strategy gives it over to Julian Sensley. Covered by DeAndre Haskins as he crosses midcourt. Sensley with a little bit of contact, and they're going to call that on Haskins. Looks like he reached in a little bit as Sensley moved to his right. And sometimes you'll see an offensive player initiate contact. That was pretty close, but Haskins has to give him the space, and he did not. Walt Strategy will inbound with Dean Vienna inbounding the ball. Finds an open player in Rashawn Brodus on the left wing. Finds Sensley now back at the three-point line. Gets it back over to Brodus. covered by Haskins. William Brodus now on the right side with an open three, and that is good for William Brodus. Good pass by Rashawn. Nobody there, no opening, no space to get a shot. Finds his brother for the open three. Chris Summers comes back. He will try an open three. It is short. William Brodus with the rebound. Tried to find his brother Rashawn. The pass is too long. Will go out of bounds. And National Fire will inbound. Down by 12. Chris Summers with the ball. Covered by William Brodus. Screen by Peterson. Pick and roll. Peterson gets the ball but brings it back out to Summers. He's trapped in the corner. Finds Kupa'a. Harrison down low. Nothing there. Harrison will spin over. Give it to DeAndre Haskins. Pulls it back and back to the three-point line. Finds Summers 8 on the shot clock. And Summers tries a long three, and that is short. Vienna with the ball. Gets the rebound over to Rashawn Brodus. He converts the left-handed layup. And World Strategy now back up by 14. A little bit more breathing room for them. All comes back running. Gives the ball over to Peterson. And a quick possession by National Fire. Shot is no good, but they control the rebound. Peterson now in the lane. Spins to his left. Nothing there. And it'll bring it outside to DeAndre Haskins, who will pull back for a long three. Left corner, nothing. And Gene Vienna gets the rebound for World Strategy.
Well, that's what happens. You know, you start shooting the three to catch up. You hit a few of them, and then you keep on shooting them, and you miss. That's what happens. You know, you're hot. Then you start to cool off a little bit, and the lead builds back up the other way. So
now we saw National Fire cut it down to 8. Now they're down by 14. Do you think, again, there's still a lot of time left, 12:59? That wasn't the end of their run in your mind?
That wasn't the end of their run. No, it was not. However, it was the end of their hot shooting three-point shots. And so let's see if they can get that back again. Because if they don't, the lead will balloon up to 20 again.
We have a couple of substitutions for National Fire. Alejandro Party comes in, and also Mohamed Torre, number 35, for National Fire, replacing Peterson and all. Rashawn Brodus with the ball. Nice fake on his left side. Goes to his right. Misses the layup. Torrey with the rebound. Finds a cutting DeAndre Haskins, who will get the shot. Good angle there as Brodus was right on top of him. DeAndre Haskins back at the free throw line for 2. For William Brodus, we'll check on his foul. That is only 2 fouls for William Brodus. Really nobody in foul trouble for World Strategy. For National Fire, 1 player with 3, and that's Mohamed Torrey, number 35. Haskins at the line for 2. And the first free throw is good by DeAndre Haskins. 64-51. World Strategy with a 13-point lead. Haskins' second free throw is good, cutting it back down to 12. A lot of time left, 12:40 left in the second half. William Brodus with the ball, crossing midcourt. Covered by Party. Brodus drives left baseline and converts the layup. He looks for the foul call, nothing there, but he makes the layup. 14-point lead for World Strategy. Haskins with the ball, pulls back for a 3 over Julian Sensley, and it is good by DeAndre Haskins. Haskins now with 29 points on the night. Craven with the ball. Covered by Torrey, brings it out to Rashawn Brodus, covered by Chris Summers. Over to McCraven. Look for somebody down low. Brodus is an open, pulls it back out to Sensley on the right side. Back over to McCraven. Looks for William Brodus down low. Throws him a bounce pass, but it is knocked away. And we've got a loose ball by Party. Controls it for National Fire. Gives it to DeAndre Haskins. He is fouled right around midcourt by Julian Sensley, I believe.
Good foul. He had a clear field after that.
That was a 3rd foul on Julian Sensley.
Yeah, but that was a good foul at half court. He would have gone in for a layup.
Right, he probably would have gotten the layup. So, and 3 fouls at this point is really not much of a concern. National Fire inbounding. Chris Summers has the ball, covered by Rashawn Brodus. Pulls back for a 3. Wow, what a shot by Chris Summers. Rashawn Brodus was playing as tight as you could possibly play, right in his face. Chris Summers pulls back, a la Steph Curry, and nails the 3. What a half for Chris Summers. 11 points all in the second half. Brodus comes back with a layup attempt. The ball is knocked away, and they call it knocked out by National Fire. World Strategy will retain possession. What a shot by Chris Summers. What a show he's put on tonight and all league long. World Strategy inbounding, up by 8. Sensley with the 3 from the left corner, and it is nothing but net by Julian Sensley. Comes right back with the 3. Back up to an 11-point lead. Summers with the ball again. Finds Haskins. He'll pull up for a long 3. Hits the side of the rim and is out, but Craven controls the rebound. And he finds Stitzel, bouncing ball past midcourt. Stitzel going into the lane, pulls it back out to Vienna. Right corner to Rashawn Brodus. That three is good by Rashawn Brodus. Seeing a three-point display here this half. Haskins has the ball, almost traveled. And they will say as he went down, the basket is good and a foul on, well, strategy. Nice control by DeAndre Haskins there. One shot after he makes the basket. 12-point lead, 72-60. 10:55 left in the second half. Haskins now at 31 points, and we're not even midway through this half. And the 8 rebounds. Great ball control. And again, it looks like he might have traveled, but they said the foul occurred before Haskins hit the ground. Second semifinal coming up at 7:30. Probably start a few minutes late. Electricians Hawaii, undefeated #1 seed, coached by Artie Wilson. Missing their best player, Derek Lowe, but still a very good team. They will go up against Chosen Few. John Lane, Scott Cato, two of their really good players. Bill Amos not in town, one of their better players, and that will be the second semifinal coming up a little later. Free throw is missed by Haskins. Sensley controls the rebound. Brings it down court. Screen there set up by Stitzel. Sensley gets the open three, and that is good. Again, a three-point shooting display. Julian Sensley now at 25 on the night. National Fire comes down, and Party converts. Little awkward shot, and nice shot, though, as he controlled his body midair and made the conversion there. But Alejandro Parde now covering Stitzel in the lane. Nothing there for Stitzel. He pulls it back out to Dean Vienna. He'll drive in the lane, little spin move. Nice move by Dean Vienna, spin move, and also spun when he got up in the air with the ball and converted the layup. And we've got a 15-point lead, 77-62 for Wolf Strategy. Loose ball as Torrey gets the ball down low, and double team will result in a foul called on
Sensley, that's
Wolf
his fourth,
Strategy.
huh?
I believe that's on Julian Sensley. Now it's his fourth foul. Now you've got to be a little concerned if you're Marco Johnson. He's got 2 more fouls left in 10 minutes. You have the nice lead, but do you take him out? Marco Johnson thinking about that right now. Summers with the ball for National Fire. They inbound. Throws the ball away. Thought he had Torrey down there. The ball was off mark. Vienna controls it. And another spin layup, but it is off. Haskins with the ball now. Over to Party. Drives into the lane. Nobody there, so he keeps on going to the basket. Underhand layup is no good. Vienna with the ball now for Strategy over to Stitzel. Looked for McCraven down low, but he was covered, so he finds Sensley up top. Sensley left-handed crossover, goes in, nothing there. Thought he was fouled, no call. Loose ball controlled by Kapa'a Harrison, who finds Haskins, and if they run, they've got a 3-on-1 break. They pull it out for a 3 on Summers, and this shot is no good. A rare miss for Chris Summers this half. Rashawn Brodus with the rebound. And the ball at midcourt is stolen by Kapa'a Harrison. But he fell out of bounds after almost making a great steal there. 9:19 left in the half, 15-point lead.
Well, you know, that's what happens when you get a big lead, and then they come back, and you just keep playing hard, and you look up, and you're up by 15 instead of the 20, but you haven't really lost that much ground. So the other team now has to expend more energy to get you, and as a result, sometimes they have a very difficult time catching up.
I think when you look at National Fire, as you mentioned, they got it down from 20 now, a 15-point deficit, but they were trailing by 8. They got it down to 8 points at one point. I think twice they got it down to 8. They know they can get back in this game. They also know they've got to get back on defense, because even though they've been converting several threes, we've seen Wolf Strategy come back converting on their own end, whether it's Julian Sensley, Rashawn Brodus, William Brodus. They're all hitting their threes right now. You've got to play better defense. Offense alone is not going to get you back in this game. And now the clock will start to become a factor as we get into single minutes with 9:19 left in the half.
Well, that's a good point you bring up. Offense alone is not going to get you back in the game. But, you know, I hate to keep harping on this point, but not many people play defense in this league. And when you don't do that, you're not going to catch up, and you're definitely not going to win the game. You may hope the other team don't make their shots, but that's not good defense. That's just another team missing their open shots.
And when I see teams that have won the last 2 years doing the games here in Olelo, that's one of the things the coaches say, the winning coaches. Defense, have really got a key on defense, and that does help win. We'll see if that is the case tonight. Stitzel with the ball. We get back into play. To Rashawn Brodus. 3 is way off. Rare miss for Rashawn Brodus. Ald with the ball for National Fire. Spin move in the three-point line. Goes into the paint. Fires up the layup. In and out for Pu'ulele Ald. William Brodus with the ball. Behind the back dribble. And as he's about to go back, to the basket, he is fouled, and that foul on number 35, Mohamed Toure. And I believe that is 4 for Toure now for National Fire. 8:56 left in the half.
Well, I'm pretty impressed with McCraven's rebounding. He's done a good job for World Strategy rebounding the ball. He's a high school boy from Mauna Loa, and I think he's done a very good job rebounding the ball. He's not that big a guy.
Did a few of their games on radio last year with Chris Hart, and he was a terrific rebounder then. Nice move by Stitzel, driving baseline, makes the layup, and back up to 17 points now for World Strategy.
He'll
Chris
shoot
Summers with
it.
the ball.
He'll shoot it.
He wanted to. Cheat the double team, so he splits the defense, and he makes the layup, and will get fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line for a chance at a three-point play. Chris Summers on fire this half. Foul on Keola Stitzel. 8:37 left in the second half. 79-64 is the score. World Strategy. Chris Summers with 13 points, looking for 14. And it is 14 points. 14-point lead for World Strategy. And we don't see World Strategy. They only have 7 players tonight. And they've only used, I believe, 6.
One of them hasn't played at all.
I haven't seen Waikolo and Noah, who actually played okay Tuesday night. He has not played in this game. William Brodus drives the lane. Nothing there. McCraven, as we talked about his rebound, he gets the offensive rebound, and he is fouled on the putback. And he will go to the line for 2.
Playing a good game, Craven. Playing a good game. That was a good offensive rebound in there, and he got fouled. Now he's got 2 shots. He's been shooting free throws well. I think he was 4 for 4. What do we have Craven for free throws?
I know he's converted his last 4, so you're at 4 for 4
yeah,
overall.
it's 4 for 4.
And we
I
just
shouldn't
jinxed
have
him.
said that. Just jinxed him. There's no such thing, so don't say that.
Right. He's
Somebody
listed
told
as
me
6'3".
that. Somebody told me that once. There's no such thing, so don't think of
I know.
the announcer jinxes
It's
you.
funny how people bring that up very often. If the pitcher is pitching a no-hitter and the announcer brings it up and there's a hit, well, the announcer thinks it's his fault.
It's his
The pitcher
fault.
had no idea the announcer said anything. Craven has no idea we were talking about his free throws now. And he makes the second on a new streak. 1 out of 2, 15-point lead for World Strategy. Summers with the ball. Gets a screen from Haskins. Now he gives it back to Haskins. Spins, drives into the lane. Gives it back out, though, to Peterson, and he'll get another 3. Kanoa Peterson with his 3rd 3 of the second half. Cutting it down to a 12-point lead, 80-68. National Fire applying pressure off the inbounds. All picking up Stitzel. Now a screen by Sensley. Stitzel uses that, drives into the lane. Left-handed reverse layup is no good. Rebound, Chris Summers. Fires up a long 3, and that was a little bit of a rush shot, and it's short. Loose ball now, and we'll see what they'll call. I think they're going to call it a jump ball off the missed 3-pointer by Chris Summers. And the possession arrow will go to World Strategy. 7:33 left in the half, 80-68. Good hustle by both teams. We're watching the replay there. Good call by the refs. That was a jump ball. And it is World Strategy's ball. A few of the players weren't sure about that. And that means National Fire wasn't back on defense, as they almost gave World Strategy a chance at an easy basket, not playing D, thinking the ball was going the other way. DeAndre Haskins still not sure what was the call there. He thought they had possession. He was one of the guys missing on defense there. Rashawn Brodus inbounding to our left. And he finds Julian Sensley near midcourt. Gets it back to Rashawn Brodus. Thinks about a shot. Drives baseline instead. Quick release is good. Great basket by Rashawn Brodus. He drove the baseline, saw the double team coming, and got the ball off even quicker than he originally planned. Got the basket and the foul.
See, that's why he presents such a problem. He's a very good 3-point shooter. And as soon as you approach him on defense, he goes right by you. I mean, right by you. He doesn't just kind of go by you. He blows you out. And he's also a good free throw shooter.
As we just saw, he made the free throw. Good first step. And a good adjustment when he saw the defender coming, got the ball off quicker and drew the foul and got the basket. 15-point lead for World Strategy. Kapaa Harrison with the ball. Party, excuse me. He converts the layup, driving baseline. Alejandro Party converts for National Fire. Stitzel with the ball, covered by Ald, crossing midcourt. 6:54 left in the half. Screen by Sensley, another screen by Sensley, nothing there. Stitzel now gives the ball to Sensley, covered by DeAndre Haskins. Fires a pass down to Rashawn Brodus, who was cutting to the basket. Brodus couldn't handle it, and it will go to National Fire as Dean Vienna checks into the game for Kerry McCraven. Well-deserved rest for McCraven. Did a really good job tonight. 6:41 left in the second half. 13-point lead. Summers with the ball, covered by William Brodus. Over to Haskins, covered by Rashawn. Haskins pulls up for a three, and that is short. Rebound controlled by Vienna, gives it over to Rashawn Brodus, streaking to the basket, and he gets the layup.
See, that's a bad shot followed by no defense, and now an interception. So
what I see right now is a little fatigue.
And Rashawn hits 2 quick baskets, and now you're down by 17.
Just like that, it's a 17-point lead. The National Fire seems to be showing a little bit of fatigue right now in the last few possessions, not getting back on D, as you said. Rashawn Brodus now with 29 on the night. Peterson with the ball, loses it to Dean Vienna, who is not tired at all, and neither is William Brodus, who converts the layup. Gilbert Hicks might have to call a timeout, and he does. 5:44 left in the second half. Now a 19-point lead, 89-70. National Fire is running out of time, and they're also looks like they might be running out of gas as well.
Well, Wealth Strategy is really a quick team. They have quick guards, and I think there's always a possibility they could open up with a spurt and really catch it like they did the last game. I mean, they won that game by a large amount because of their quickness, and now here they come back a day later, 2 days later, and go up by 19 points with 5 minutes to go in the game, all because of their quickness. And they played decent defense there in the last 2 minutes of the game.
As we look at the scoring numbers right now, Rashawn Brodus 29, Julian Sensley 25, William Brodus with 18, and if I do my math correctly, that's 72 points out of 89 from those 3 players. Dean Vienna also hitting it with 7 points. For National Fire, DeAndre Haskins 31, Chris Summers 14 all in the second half, Kainoa Peterson with 13. Tony, I notice we don't have the fan that we had on Tuesday night. Maybe we can have our good helper here, Benjamin, get us that fan. As DeAndre Haskins gets a missed shot put back in for National Fire. 89-72 the score. Stitzel with the ball. Covered by Auld. 5:20 left in the half. Looking for William Brodus. Goes around the screen, brings it up top. Covered by Chris Summers. Back over to Sensley on the left side. He'll try a long three, and that hits the front of the rim. And will go out of bounds off of Wealth Strategy. National Fire down by 17. If they're going to make a run, right now is about the time they're going to have to make up this deficit quickly. Kainoa Peterson is thinking exactly that. Fires up a three immediately and converts. Impressive half for Kainoa Peterson shooting those threes.
I don't know how he makes that shot, but he sure gets a lot of arc on it.
Definitely. But he's got them within 14 right now. 89-75. William Brodus splits the defense, goes in for the layup, hits the back of the rim, and it is off. National Fire in a 2-on-1, and Summers will try a three. Hits the rim and is off. That would have been a big basket for National Fire. Rashawn Brodus controls the rebound. Driving the lane, dish it out to the right corner for William. He'll miss the three. National Fire looking to run. Summers with the ball. Thinks about a three, but then drives into the lane, and he will make the easy layup for Chris Summers. 12-point lead, 89-77, 4:14 left in the second half. Dean Vienna with the ball for Wealth Strategy. Tries a pass to William Brodus down low. Going to call a kick on Peterson. Kainoa Peterson with the kick ball. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Wealth Strategy inbounding. 4:05 left in the second half. Dean Vienna gets the ball. It's for Rashawn Brodus coming around a screen on the left side. Gets the ball now top of the key. Covered by Haskins. 10 on the shot clock. Gets it low to Sensley. Finds a little space and converts. Julian Sensley with a nice basket, especially muscling for position there. Auld now with the ball. Over to Summers, tries an NBA three and then some. It is short. Peterson with the offensive rebound. He is hit in the eye by Dean Vienna, who comes over to let him know that it was just going for the ball. Good sportsmanship by Dean Vienna. 91-77 as Peterson will go to the free throw line for one-on-one. 14-point lead for Wells Strategy, 91-77. And our friend Ben here doing a great job trying to be a human fan. He's not as good as the actual one we had the other night. We're glad Ben is in attendance here. As Peterson misses the second free throw. Strong rebound by Dean Vienna. Gives it over to Rashawn Brodus. 3:32 left in the half. Gives it down low to Sensley. Finds Vienna on the right side. Good pass down low to McCraven. Nothing there. They pull it back up and are using the shot clock right now down to 13. Well, Strategy not in a hurry at all. Vienna looks and tried to find Rashawn Brodus. Ball is tipped away, and DeAndre Haskins will go in for a beautiful dunk off of the steal. DeAndre Haskins now has got 35 points on the night. 12-point lead, 3 minutes left in the second half. Sensley has the ball. Vienna out top. Rashawn Brodus trying a long three, and that is an air ball. Summers with the rebound. He's looking to run. Finds Peterson for another three, and this one is off. Rebound, though, by Haskins. He'll go up. Putback is no good. The ball is out of bounds to National Fire Protection. 2:42 left in the second half. Full timeout right here. And if I'm Marco Johnson, I think I'd want to use the shot clock a little bit. You don't have to use 25 seconds, but I would want to have my team in a hurry to shoot. There's really nothing to gain right now. I just want to use that clock to limit the possessions for National Fire.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I think that's a very good strategy. Like I told you before, I think it's just a matter of whether a team can do that or not. They really get jumpy, you know, when the shot clock gets down to 10, 12 seconds, and really they don't have to, but they do. And sometimes they take a bad shot or a three-point shot. And once again, I think everybody should know the only good three-point shot is the one that goes in. One that doesn't go in leaves you open to a lot of things like a fast break, like a long rebound, a short people rebounding when you have a bigger team. So you have to be really careful when you take that shot.
It's a good point, because after the long three-point shot, you have long rebounds off of the missile that does lead teams to get fast breaks in transition. 2:42 left in the second half. 12-point lead for Wells Strategy, National Fire inbounding. And we've got a three-point shot by Party. It is off, but the rebound is controlled by National Fire. Putback is no good by Haskins. Sensley with a nice rebound. And he is fouled. National Fire looking for a jump ball, but that was a foul, and Sensley will go to the line for 1-and-1. And free throws, again, will be very important down the stretch. World Strategy can put this game out of reach if they keep converting, especially with a chance to get 2 points here. They missed the first one, you're giving National Fire more life. (91-79), World Strategy. And Sensley misses in and out. National Fire with the rebound. Peterson over to DeAndre Haskins. And he looks to split the defense, and there will be a foul called on Wells Strategy.
And the reason he can do that is because 2 guys are back on defense, 3 guys are walking. He goes to the basket, and you're going to foul him because you can't stop him from going to that. He has too much of the floor to work with because there's nobody back on defense. You got to get back on defense and play defense.
And he's taking advantage of that.
And then coach says, we want to go back and we want to play defense. Well, this is the time when you have to play defense. So it's important for the guys to understand that, to get back and always face the ball, keep the ball in front of you all the time, so that the team cannot do exactly what he did, get fouled, stop the clock, get 2 points, and catch up without the clock moving. You got to be really careful.
I have a feeling that's what Marco Johnson is telling his team right now. He called that timeout. And he knows he has a commanding lead. They should be able to put this game away, but he doesn't want to have his team letting up easy baskets for National Fire. Not only they're not playing smart in that aspect, but also they're letting National Fire getting quick baskets. They're getting those fast break baskets is taking 4 or 5 seconds, and it gives them, again, more opportunities to get back in this game with only 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. 1-and-1 free throw right now coming up for DeAndre Haskins. 12-point deficit. Haskins doing a great job overall tonight, 35 points and 11 rebounds. Got the double-double.
Yeah, and they got Haskins down as a 75% free throw shooter. So, fortunately, he just missed that one.
Missed that, so chance for 2 points. They come away with 0. Stitzel has the ball, and he is fouled now by Peterson. And this will be a 1-and-1 free throw for Keel to Stitzel. The next team foul for both teams will result in 2 free throws down the stretch.
There is no way that you can emphasize at any level how important free throws are. You just can't do it because a lot of people don't appreciate free throws, and that's unfortunate.
I agree. I talk about that all the time. Stitzel makes the first one. I mean, you might miss a free throw in the first half and think, well, it's only the first half, but those come back to haunt you later on.
I agree 100%.
And something that you can work on, no matter what size you are, you can work on to improve. There's no excuse, I don't think, on high school, college, or pro level to shoot under 70%. Stitzel makes both free throws. Big free throws for World Strategy. They open it up to a 14-point lead. 2:12 left in the second half. Party with the ball, drives in, nothing there, throws up a wild shot. Haskins tries to get the rebound, that is no good. Stitzel drives, and he misses the layup. Tip in is no good. Ball is loose. McCraven, he gets the ball, and his rebound is no good. Auld with the ball. 4-on-2 for National Fire. They try a 3 from Haskins. That is no good. Peterson with the offensive rebound. Pulls it back out to Chris Summers, covered by McCraven. Will drive in the lane, nothing there. Pulls back for a shot from 12 feet, and that is good for Chris Summers. 93-81, 12-point lead for World Strategy. Sensley is fouled as soon as he gets the ball. And I guess if you're National Fire, basically, if you don't get a quick steal, you're going to foul immediately for the rest of the game. The only chance you really have with 1:36 left. Sensley with 27 points and 6 rebounds, also 2 assists tonight. And they were in the double bonus, 2 free throws as Sensley makes the first. We want to thank our statistician, Officer Frank, doing a great job tonight. Second free throw is no good, but World Strategy controls the loose ball. Stitzel has the ball, and he is fouled. Keel Stitzel will go to the line for 2. Played at Roosevelt High and Iowa Wesleyan. Keel Stitzel. Stitzel going to the free throw line for 2. 1:32 left in the game. First free throw is good.
3 in a row right there.
And if I'm a coach on any of these levels that we talked about, Tony, I would have my team work on free throws until they all are converting at a minimum of 70%. But in the NBA level, it's embarrassing.
Oh,
I know if you're a 7-footer and you only shoot from 2 feet around the basket, that maybe some people use an excuse. That's not an excuse. You still should be able to work on that and make your team better. 45, 50% free throw shooting is embarrassing.
Well, Chris Webber made the comment. He was a 35% free throw shooter one year, got a free throw shooting coach, and proceeded to raise his average to 75% the next year, which is the largest gain ever by a NBA shooting. And then they said, well,
National Fire misses on their end. Rashawn Brodus does not. He converts. 17-point lead as we approach a minute left in the game. We had Rick Barry on our talk show, The Sports Animals, last year. Great free throw shooter in the NBA, and he said he has offered to work with guys like Andre Drummond and Dwight Howard, but they don't want to learn the underhand free throw, and they don't want to get that help from somebody like him, so they refuse to work with a guy who's offered his services.
Well, Chris Webber then goes on to say that guys like Shaquille O'Neal say they have big hands, and that's why they can't. And he said that's a myth. He has bigger hands than Shaquille O'Neal, and he's a 75% free throw.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with the size of your hand. It has something to do with practice.
Right, exactly.
Practice.
McCraven misses for World Strategy. National Fire with maybe their last shot at a basket tonight as Summers misses. Keola Stitzel with the ball, and Sensley will try a three. Nobody near him. Misses. And this game is basically all over. Well, Strategy will advance to the championship game once again in the NCAA Summer League as we count down the clock. 12 seconds left. Haskins will go in for a dunk or a dunk attempt as he misses it, but no defense on that play. They give him the rebound. Summers with the ball, and he'll try a three for the last shot of this game. That is off, and we are done. First semifinal of the evening. Wolf Strategy advances 98-81. They won by 18 on Tuesday. They win by 17 tonight. They will play the winner of our next game coming up in just a few minutes. They've been pretty impressive in these playoff games so far.
I think so. I think their speed has definitely taken its toll. They're only playing with 8 players.
7 tonight.
7 tonight, and only using one sub. One guy didn't even play at all.
Right.
So they must be in pretty good shape. So they're doing an excellent job.
They get an extra day. Well, they get 1 day off getting ready for Saturday, but an impressive performance. You're right, with maybe a shortened bench, it'd be a little bit of a struggle. But even though both nights teams have come back on them, Clark Hatch Fitness on Tuesday took a lead with 9 minutes left. And then Walt Strategy wins by 18. Tonight, we get National Fire down by 20. They cut it down to 8 twice. Look to be having a lot of momentum and confidence. And Walt Strategy went right around and got that lead back up to 14 or 15 and retained that throughout.
Well, I think sometimes it takes so much energy to catch up and so much good shooting to catch up that it's very difficult. And then you get a little bit cold and bang, the other team comes back and they get a 15, 16-point lead again. And so it makes it a little bit more difficult. I think that's why it's so important to jump out to a lead, especially in these games.
Sure, and for National Fire, they are the number 2 seed in the playoffs, second place. They get a bye in the first round. They lose tonight. An unfortunate game, and these games really can go either way. I thought some of these games would be a little closer, but give Walt Strategy partner credit for both nights winning these games convincingly and going away. And now they will await the winner of the game that will start 9 minutes from now. We mentioned chosen few. They've got Jace Tavita, former UH player, who's been on fire in this league. He had 47 points last week in a game here, and he's been a great three-point shooter. We'll see if that will continue. Tony and I will take a quick break, and we will be ready. We'll give you the keys for the upcoming game in semifinal number 2 coming up in just a few minutes. This is Olelo TV. We are at Manoa Rec for the NCAA Summer League.